Hey, you know what'd be cool? Some lesser known indie artists in Festival. That's not what I meant. Fortnite Festival is about to enter its 12th season in its official second year anniversary. It's insane, it doesn't feel like it's already been 2 years, but yeah, here we are. This season, Epic decided to give us a headliner-less festival, which is definitely a new idea. I don't think you'd be able to sell out an actual festival if your headliner was just completely empty at the top of your poster. Imagine that for Coachella. All jokes aside, I am okay with them not having a celebrity headliner if it means that money is going to go into the actual jam tracks this season. Money did not go into the actual jam tracks this season. Multiple weeks of no new jam tracks. Now, we know the reason why. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with both the Tyler, the Creator collab, and I have no doubt the festival team has been busy behind the scenes working on pro vocals as that number is slowly going up, but once again, we are left completely in the dark with no communication from the actual developers as to what the hell is going on here. This, of course, leads to a lot of people doom posting and thinking that the game mode is dying, along with the player number slowly decreasing. Once again, I feel like this is the 8th season I've said this in a row. A little communication goes a long way, Epic. Let your festival team talk about what's going on behind the scenes. The most interesting thing that happened with Festival this season is that we had a bit of a change up with the venue. Originally, it started as the same Gorillaz venue as before, but with tentacles and thorns everywhere because Fortnite nerds. But halfway through the season, they decided to change the venue into something a little bit more bespoke. But that's basically the only major change I can think about off the top of my head. Needless to say, Fortnite Festival is not in a great spot right now, so how do we fix it? I asked on both my Twitter as well as my YouTube community tab what you guys would like to see for the future of the game mode to hopefully get some more eyes on it and make it a little bit more fun. Thank you to everyone who submitted an answer for this. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to fit everyone's answer in as I got over 150 of them, but I'm going to fit as many as I can. Now these aren't going to be in any particular order, but I will be saving the most requested feature for last. Two heavily requested features are pro drums and pro vocals to go along with the pro lead and pro bass. Now these will likely play similar to the Rock Band and Karaoke Revolution counterparts that came before them. I think pro vocals are actively being worked on. Every once in a while, a festival leaker will show off that a certain percentage of songs now support pro vocals, but I can't confirm that because Epic's communication when it comes to festival is dog shit. Now, pro drums, on the other hand, those have been finished and playable since day one. They're just not playable inside of festival, which makes no sense to me. All it would take is a single graphic to be made and a couple lines of code to enable something that's already in every single MIDI in the game. Maybe they were waiting on new drum peripherals to come out, but they advertised that pro lead and pro bass were compatible with Rock Band 4 instruments, so surely they could have made pro drums compatible with Rock Band 4 drums. Either way, Cracked is releasing a new drum set next year and it looks really cool, so honestly, if they don't enable it when the new drum set comes out, that would be a huge missed opportunity, and while it wouldn't surprise me, it would be genuinely really sad, so hopefully they do enable that when the drum set comes out. Another gameplay feature that people have asked for is a better calibration menu, which makes a lot of sense. Harmonix is working on this game, and Rock Band 2 through 4 had auto calibration, where all you had to do was hold up your guitar to the TV and speaker, and it would use a light sensor as well as a microphone to auto calibrate to your system perfectly, no problems whatsoever. Now, in the space year of 2025, almost 2026 when I'm recording this, we all have smartphones in our pockets that also have cameras and microphones on them. Why hasn't Epic made a companion app so that way we can auto calibrate our system using equipment that we already have? Or hell, let us use our Rock Band 4 instruments to auto-calibrate inside a Fortnite Festival. It makes no sense, especially considering the fact that unlike Rock Band, Fortnite Festival actually judges you depending on your timing, not just if you hit the note or not, so you really do need perfect calibration. At the very least, they should let us choose between the old calibration system and the new one, so people that don't jive with the new system can go back to the old one, or vice versa. Another feature that a lot of people have asked for is the ability to pause the game, which I didn't even think about until now. But that brings up a good point. We should be able to pause the game. It's a single player experience unless we're playing online. Why can't we pause in the middle of the Master of Puppets solo if we need to go take a piss? What's going on? We could do that in all the prior Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. A couple people have also asked for an overhauled battle mode, and that's something I agree with wholeheartedly. The one that's currently in game is half-baked to say the least. I was expecting something similar to Guitar Hero 3's battle mode, which is the gold standard and came out almost 20 years ago. Instead, they decided to give us a single power-up to launch at other players and gave us zero reason to return to the game mode after winning only a couple matches. It would be pretty easy to fix battle mode. All they have to do is add a couple more power-ups and make it ranked. Hell, add ranked to main stage as well. Plenty of people have asked for it. It probably wouldn't take very many resources to add. I also wish it was playable locally, where you can face off against another person sitting beside you on the couch. Why not? Is that really that big of an ask? And if not battle mode, why not pro face-off? They figured that out 20 years ago. You're telling me they can't put it in the cutting-edge Fortnite game? Speaking of something they figured out years ago and is still absent from Fortnite Festival, why can't people see their opponents or their teammates' highways when they play online? Yeah, it shouldn't be mandatory, make it a toggleable option, but plenty of people would love to see it, and I would as well. A lot of my friends that have gotten into festivals specifically because of Fortnite as opposed to Rock Band or Guitar Hero aren't super well versed in the gameplay styles from the previous Guitar Hero and Rock Band games. As a result, when I try to explain something like a hammer-on or a pull-off to them, they might not understand it, and if I can't see their chart, I can't point at it and be like, hey, that was a hammer-on or that was a pull-off. I don't know what they're looking at if they're playing on a lower difficulty than I am. By far, some of the most common complaints that I've gotten over the last 2 years is the lack of customization when it comes to Fortnite Festival specifically. Guitar Hero and Rock Band were both very open, letting you select your bandmates, which is a very heavily requested feature. Yeah, they kinda made it so your favorited skins show up next to yours, but you can't control which one's up here, and if you have the exact same skin as your self-favorited, congratulations, you are seeing double. This could be very easily remedied with a simple band loadout screen or being able to just select your band members before you load into the game. I don't understand why this isn't an option. And if you're not going to do that, can you at least put a changing booth backstage? It was there a couple seasons ago and now it's shockingly MIA, so you have to go out to the main menu to change your skin. And while we're at it, why can't I select a venue? This one makes no sense to me because Epic has already gone through the effort of modeling and texturing every single past venue in the game. All they have to do is make them freely selectable. Every past Guitar Hero and Rock Band had a venue select. Looking at the same stage over and over gets very, very stale. I remember playing the Carol G season and getting so fucking bored at what was in the background because it was the exact same venue for like 2.5 months. We know the venue data is still in the game because you can go back and play past concerts if you remember the island code, so it's clearly not a licensing thing. Why can't we at the very least randomize it? When it comes to positive visual changes, by far one of the most requested features that they could add very easily are additional animations, just to make them slightly more lively than they currently are. It's so sad when you go back to play literally any past Guitar Hero or Rock Band game, and they're so much more lively than they are in Fortnite Festival. When I started playing this game mode, I assumed that the Fortnite Festival animations were basically placeholders. They were meant to be stale to give sort of a proof of concept for what they were working on. And of course, 2 years later, the animations look almost identical to how they looked when the game mode launched. Of course, we would all love them to roll back the FOMO changes that they made a couple seasons ago and give us actual incentive to play, as well as make the jam tracks a little bit cheaper because $5 a song is a bit steep. Yes, I know the original Rock Band songs were cheap by comparison, with them only costing $2 back in the day, but Rock Band was a completely offline experience and Fortnite Festival requires a server connection. One day, all of the songs that you've bought in this game will no longer be playable, but I can still happily go back and play all of the Band Hero DLC that I bought back in 2010. The game either needs an offline mode or the jam tracks need to be cheaper, one of the two. Especially with certain jam tracks only being 54 seconds long. What the fuck? My biggest complaint with Fortnite Festival the last couple of seasons, and it has been echoed in a couple of comments, is the performance on PC. I got a new PC with a 5070 Ti and an Intel Ultra 7, and I still, for some reason, get occasional frame dips. It's fucking ridiculous. Why does the Nintendo Switch 2 version run smoother than the PC that is around 20 times more powerful than the Nintendo Switch 2? I genuinely don't get that. Bar none, the most requested feature is something you probably predicted a long time ago. Practice mode. Everyone and their mother wants practice mode, and yeah, this is something that I have complained about pretty much every single season since the game mode came out. Why doesn't it exist? Epic Games prides themselves on putting harder and harder charts in the game all the time, such as Magical Cure Love Shot, Beyond the Flame, Through the Fire and Flames, Freebird, but we have no way of practicing them. You'd choke in Solo Sea of Flames? Congratulations, you're going all the way back to the beginning of the song, and you're gonna like it. Unacceptable. I don't understand how every single past 5-fret rhythm game had a practice mode, but Fortnite Festival still doesn't. We're at the point where Rock Band 4 introduced its practice mode before Fortnite Festival has. That's just sad. The final comment I will show you is something that summarizes the entirety of my feelings towards Fortnite Festival. Take Rock Band 3 Deluxe and take all of those features. I just need to ask, why? Why have Harmonix and Epic Games let themselves fall into second place behind the people that mod their own games? Modders that do this in their free time. Modders that aren't being paid salary paychecks to get this work done. And I can say with an incredibly high degree of certainty that the quality output done by people like MiloHacks, the World Tour Definitive devs, NeverHacks, among everyone else in the scene, has eclipsed the work done by Fortnite Festival's development staff tenfold. Not just in the amount of new features that have been added to those projects, but the quality output of those projects in general. And beyond modders, fan game devs are also pushing the envelope of what's possible. We now have fully animated 3D bands inside of YARG, on top of features like pro drums and pro vocals, which people are still waiting to be added to Fortnite Festival. I've always said that YARG is a genuine substitute for Fortnite Festival, and at this point it's looking more and more like the better option. And with a new official release from Red Octane Games on the horizon, which is likely going to steal most of Festival's official thunder on consoles, Epic Games has to start thinking about what they can do to get longtime players back into the swing of things playing their game. Because right now, I have no incentive to play Fortnite Festival outside of earning XP for Fortnite. And if I didn't play Fortnite as it was, I probably wouldn't play Festival at all anymore. Anyway, were there any features that I missed that you guys would love to see added to Fortnite Festival? Leave a comment down below. Until next time, this has been DanRock. Peace out, take care, and rock on.